The Alien Earth finale left a lot of people frustrated. More questions, no closure. But that doesn't mean that nothing's here. In fact, a lot of what went unanswered is extremely important. So today we're breaking down 5 of these questions to make sense of it all. Welcome to The Real Spot. I'm Bobby Foster. Let's dive in. One of the most important questions we're left with is, how is Wendy so powerful?
Run.
I'm extremely surprised they did not give us an answer to how Wendy got her powers to control the network and the xenomorph. I was 100% expecting to get that answer. Instead, we see her get even more powerful when she freezes Adam. She explains she was able to do that because he's part of the network that she can manipulate.
He's mechanical, and he's on the network, just like the doors and the cameras.
But that raises the question, why is she the only hybrid that can tap into said network? It was giving me the Matrix, like she can tap into the code and rewrite it and manipulate it. Definitely giving Neo at the end. Like Wendy was giving God mode during this episode, like a completely omniscient, all-powerful being. She was literally able to see everything that was going on through all of the cameras. And she was able to control like every single aspect of the show, it felt like. And honestly, I don't know how to feel about it yet, because the powers are cool and it's awesome seeing her have those powers, but narratively it felt like a little bit of a cop-out. And on top of not learning how she can control this network, we also didn't learn how she can control the xenomorph. But it's interesting because the creator came out and said that she's not controlling the xenomorph, but they're teaming up essentially. But honestly, it doesn't really appear that way in the writing in the show. The xenomorph definitely comes off operating like a pet. And I said in an earlier video that if Wendy could control multiple xenomorphs, she'd be like the most powerful being on the planet. And in this, we see there's 2 xenomorphs that are listening to her. So she could control multiple xenomorphs and this so-called network, which, I mean, she seems completely unstoppable. And where that puts us is in this place where the hybrid said that it's their time to rule.
Now we rule.
By the way, if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so more videos like this can show up on your feed. But what exactly are the hybrids wanting to rule? That's an important question. Are they trying to rule Prodigy, the island, the world, the universe? I'm really interested to see the scope in which what Wendy thinks she can control. And based on the power she has, she could control a lot. She's extremely smart and powerful. I don't know who could rival her. If she wants to take over Prodigy, I wonder what her vision for the company is. She's obviously against making more hybrids, so I don't think she would stick with that business plan.
Wendy, darling, whatever I did, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You think you're a good person who did good things. All you did is put 6 children in the ground.
If she wants to take over the world, I wonder what her vision for humanity is. We're not really sure how she sees humanity. We don't know if she sees them as below her or equal to her, if she wants the best for humanity, the worst for humanity. We're not really sure yet. She's going through an identity crisis herself, so I don't think she knows how she views humans yet. We did see in an earlier episode her hinting at the fact that she's finding out that all humans do is lie and manipulate, and they could be the problem. So if she does have beef with humans, they better watch out. Because we saw in this episode, her and the rest of the hybrids had that transformation where they went from being afraid to not being afraid of nothing, which was definitely a theme that was building up the whole season from when Kirsch brought it up in episode 1, I believe. The hybrids were afraid of a lot this season, from death, sickness, the adults around them, but now they realize they don't have to be afraid of nothing, that they have ultimate power and control. And I had said in one of my previous videos, these humans aren't realizing they're the ones that are in danger on this island, surrounded by the hybrids and the specimens. And when things pop off, it's gonna be too late for them. I was right about that. Drop your takes on what you think about the hybrids taking over. And if you like Alien Earth and want to talk about it more, but feel like you have no one to talk to, go ahead and join the Real Spot Discord. We love talking about shows and movies in there, and we would love to have you be a part of the conversation. But since we were talking about fear, it makes me wonder, at the end of the episode, is Kavalier scared or proud? Maybe a little bit of both. The ending definitely reminded me of Frankenstein, right? With him witnessing the monster he created. But I think that there's a part of him that's happy that he made something that's stronger and smarter than he is. The creator confirmed that the conversation Kavalier wanted all season with something smarter than himself was him talking to Wendy at the end of the episode. Personally, I didn't really see that as coming full circle. It didn't feel like that in the moment. But if that's the case, I wonder going into season 2 how Kavalier's feeling right now. Is he more curious about the hybrids, or is he more afraid of the hybrids? I think he's going to spend season 2 being like Ocellus and just observing them, finding out a way to manipulate them to try and get back in control, try to get back in power. Because I don't see him being the type to want to be bossed around. He's a full-blown manipulator and a narcissist, and that's going to be on full display in season 2. And I think when he does have that conversation with Ocellus in season 2, that's going to be a big moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if him and Ocellus team up. I feel like that would be a very interesting plot. But talking about Ocellus, what was even the point of Ocellus this season? They really just introduced his character to have it be a cliffhanger for season 2. Ocellus legitimately did nothing all season but sit there and watch people. And you thought that was going to have some gigantic payoff in the finale, but nope. Even in the finale, it had the plot of, oh, it's about to get implanted into somebody, which was going to be Hermit, which was full of conflict. It was one of the best parts of the episode, was waiting to see if he was going to take over Hermit. But then it ended up taking over Arthur, a dead body, which I wouldn't call it a plot hole, but there's an issue with that. Because if it could take control of dead bodies, why did it not get into a dead body in the Maginot before it got captured? What I think happened here is the writers and the creator didn't know that Ocellus was going to be as popular as it ended up being, so they wanted to introduce all the specimens slowly because they didn't want to overshadow the xenomorph. And so they didn't really write in a major plot for any of the specimens. They probably thought it was a gigantic risk to introduce specimens, so they probably wanted to take it slow. But now that they know a lot of people love Ocellus, I would not be surprised if it had a gigantic plot in the second season. But that doesn't make it better that they basically teased us all season for Ocellus to be awesome for nothing to happen. So now we just have to wait for season 2 to see what's going to happen with Ocellus. But that brings up the point that, is there going to be a season 2, and what's going to happen in season 2? Season 2 hasn't been greenlit yet, but we're just going to assume it is, and we're going to talk about some things that I hope happen in season 2. Like I was just mentioning about Ocellus, I hope they go into the specimens more now that they know the fans really want to see more of the specimens. So I hope there's more lore and backstory and more plot points for all the specimens going into season 2. I liked the Peter Pan metaphor that was going on all season. I hope we get something like that in season 2 as well. Another philosophical season. And after watching this finale, I hope they're better able to conclude everything that they bring up in season 2 in the season 2 finale. I don't want to get all the way through season 2 just to be like, oh man, gotta see what happens in season 3. Definitely don't want that to happen. Definitely want to know more about Wendy's powers. That's the biggest question I have that I want answered for sure. I want more interactions between Kirsch and Morrow. Love them together. I want to see the xenomorph turn back into something scary rather than just being tamed. I want the hybrids to grow up and act like adults instead of kids. Like we got that in the first season, right? It'd be better to see them as adults in the second season, in my opinion, because we saw them have their moment of growth already in this finale. So I want to see what they're like moving forward. And this is a hot take, but I want to see Hermit turn against Wendy. It seems like it's going that direction, and I just want to see it happen. That's going to be full of drama, and I would love to see it. But most of all, like I said earlier, season 2 hasn't even been greenlit, so my biggest wish is for season 2 to be greenlit and that we have in season 2. But we're just going to have to send out some good vibes. And those are the questions that season 1 left us with that were extremely important, that we still need some answers for. But I'm glad we got to explore them here so we could appreciate this episode a little bit more. And discussing these questions and theories is fun, but now it's your turn. What questions and theories do you have? What do you want to see in season 2? Leave them below. But if you want to discuss them more, go ahead and drop them in the Real Spot Discord. This was so fun making these videos all season long with y'all. So until next season, I'll see you.